Fort Heights, Illinois. A lot of people not too familiar with that place, but it used to serve as one of the stops for the Underground Railroad. Most people think I'm from Chicago, and I want people to know where I'm really from, which is Fort Heights, Illinois. You know, we call it easy greasy because, you know, it wasn't nothing ever easy and greasy. I got into track because I actually lost my basketball scholarship, which a lot of people know, and then went to like track practice to pick up a friend like 3 weeks before the season ended, and the coach gave me a pair of spikes, like, you should come to the track meet the next day, see if this is something you can see yourself doing. So I get to the meet and he tell me to just run and jump as if I'm dunking the ball. So I'm like, okay, this is something that sounds so simple. So I did it, and that very first jump I took was, I think that put me at number 2 in the state at the time. And I got out the pit like that didn't look far to me, but according to everybody else, it was kind of far. So yeah, next morning I was in the Chicago Sun-Time. My mom bought me a newspaper. And that first year I went from 24-1 to 25-6 within my first full year track, and I went to junior nationals, ended up getting 3rd. And then my sophomore year is where like things really started happening. So I went from 25 into my season with a personal best of 25-6 my first year, within my first year of track, to jumping 26-3 that following year, my sophomore year. So I initially signed to the University of Kentucky, and then that was April 14th of 2015. So I ended up I had to go back to the JUCO to finish a few classes, so I started taking more visits. So I took a visit to Florida State and wanted to go there because I just got off the plane and I'm like, this is me. Like, it's a big city, everybody's just friendly, everybody's getting along, the team well put together. But I ended up couldn't go there because of their personal reasons. So I ended up calling A&M like, yeah, I'll take a visit there. So I took the visit. And then the Twins was already here at that time, so they just basically told me like I'm gonna jump far regardless. And because in JUCO when we were together, we pretty much dominated. Like every time we stepped on the track, everybody knew they couldn't match with me and the Twins together. So when I first got here, I kind of like hit like a downfall. Like I started descending as far as my talent compared to where I was before. A lot of people would say it was because of transition and things like that, so I needed more time with the program. And it was like from the summer of my sophomore year going into like summer of 2015, a lot of guys, I was competing on Saturday and I drove to a lot of meets by myself, so a lot of guys became my mentors, like Dwight Phillips, Carl Lewis, Bobby, and a lot of guys. They just started putting so much knowledge in my head, and I became so knowledgeable about the sport. And then at that point I just decided to become a student to the game because I wanted to be like the best in what I do. So I started working on perfecting my craft, studying how I take off, how I run, looking at not just looking at like some of the greatest. I look at some of the, not gonna put anybody down, some of the worst athletes, and I just study each individual and just figure out what works for everybody, because everybody's body different. I eventually started, excelling, going back up rapidly, and then this year exactly, I just decided to take my talent to the next level. I just wanted to dominate every time I step on the track. Mentally, I just always take it back to where I'm from. I mean, I'm from Fort Heights, Illinois, and you can't name a legit 3 to 4 people that made it out of there, and in places that I'm at now, or has been places that I've been, or even been anywhere outside of that little area. So it's like me knowing that I made it out of that position, and I faced all them obstacles, and I'm where I'm at now. It's nowhere else I can be. Only thing I can do is help myself go forward. So like the mindset, like a lot of people ask me how did I get the mindset. I don't know. It's just something that's always been engraved in me. I always looked at myself as one of the unique ones from the hood. So I never had the same mindset as I'm just gonna sell weed or do the things that the typical teenager do when you're in a position like that. My mindset was always unique. I always felt like I need to help my mother, I need to help my family, I need to do what I need to do to get them out. So that's just one thing that separated me from others. Coming from JUCO to here, it's a lot more meets, and like the training is a lot more intense. The people you're around are a lot more intense because everybody's trying to be the best. And like when I first got here, it was kind of tough. Like it was like that real tough love. Like you're not gonna get no love if you're not handling business. So it took me a while to adjust to the people around me. Like when I first got out, I didn't really talk to too many people, and not too many people like me, because I was just so antisocial. And you know, I guess a lot of people would say I was cocky, but to me personally, the people that say I'm cocky are the people that underestimate me the most. Because I don't consider myself cocky. I consider myself confident in my ability, because I know what I'm capable of. And people would try to throw that term out there because they don't know what I'm capable of.
He was in first, and then he left to go run in his hurdle heat. In the 6th round from Texas A&M, Will Williams bounces out a little bit farther, 26 feet 10 and a half for a personal record. And he wins the long jump. Holloway came back, did not take his 6th attempt. He passed. So Will Williams was your winner with a personal best. And there you see your top 3 finishers in this competition.
They wouldn't call me cocky, because I done have several one-on-one conversations with the guys who train in my group, and they know me personally. They know the goals and the standards that I set for myself. And like one thing I tell like people I talk to every day, set unrealistic goals to make the realistic goals easier. Fabrice Lapierre, was a very talented Australian jumper. He's still jumping to this day. And I have like track 8 of the top 10 marks. And like I jumped like 5 of them this year. This year I jumped the school record and the facility record like with 8:19. So yeah, he went on to, like, once he left here, he started jumping extremely far. So like that, me breaking his school record and facility record was like a good indication for me. Right now I'm rehabbing, trying to get healthy, and then focus on USAs. Hopefully I can surprise a lot of people that I know are doubting me, come USAs, and then pursue my professional career. Once we landed in Sacramento, we got off the plane. It's like a 4 or 5 hour flight, so we got off the plane and my legs were kind of shaking up and tight and stiff or whatever. So we went to practice the first day, and it was okay because I didn't do too much. Then the day before competition, I tried to get everything down to a cue. That way, once I step on the runway the next day, it's just I don't have to focus or worry about too much. But my coach told me I did my last one through. Coach was like, "That's good. We're good there. That's it." And I was like, "No."
I was like, me being the person I am in the way, my preparation for me, I was like, "Nah, I need one more." And before that last one, I knew my leg was kind of tight and banged up, but things wasn't going as I wanted them to go, so I had to take that last one. And then, boom, as soon as I took off, I just felt it like, crazy. So then I hobbled off, landed on the mat.
As soon as I got on the mat, I just closed my eyes and felt my leg and just put my head on my face and just started crying, because I'm like, most people know that if I feel something, like I done competed with a strained Achilles, IT band jacked up. I competed through a lot, but like if it's something that I'm physically capable of doing, like they know that like I had to be severely hurt for me to just not get up and walk it off. Because a lot of times I would, like even then when this happened, I try to do as much as I can to come back and compete the next day, but by the time competition came, I just couldn't run. I just felt like I let a lot of people down, such as my team and my mom. So yeah, that was the biggest thing, the frustration of letting people down. I'm recovering pretty fast. I saw the doc like last Tuesday, and he said nothing's torn, and he said something about my veins is helping me recover. Like I'm recovering very well. So yeah, so the rehab process is going pretty consistent and pretty fast, moving pretty fast. Summer for me is about putting my name out there and letting people know who Will Williams is, and letting them know that I'm on the come up and I'm here. Because next year is the World Championship year, so I just want people to know, like, once I'm here next year, it's not going to be easy for y'all. I listen to a lot of like old school rap. I listen to Tupac, Notorious. I love Michael Jackson. I listen to, nowadays, I just started, like for the past few weeks, I've been kind of bumping Kevin Gates. I kind of like some of the stuff that Kevin Gates says. I go to Foot Locker, see if they got, some new Air Max or Kobe's. I preferably look for Kobe's. I got a lot of Kobe's. That's probably my first shoe that I wear. Then I would say Air Force One.
Yeah, I have these in the size 11.5. And these. My bad. literally probably got every pair of Air Force One.
Yeah, I got a lot of shoes, but I prefer Air Max, Kobe's, and Air Force Ones. So like my brother's now, he's playing for I think East West University playing basketball. And my other sisters, they working jobs right now. Football was my first sport. I played football from like 4th grade to sophomore year in high school. And like what a lot of people don't know, that growing up, me and Laquan Trero was probably the best 2 football players in our city. But the only thing that was different was Laquan, he pursued it. He pursued it more than I did. I didn't have that, I just didn't have the passion like he had for football. My main thing, like, if you talk to the people around me, I'm all about helping others around me better themselves. Like whether it's from a personal standpoint, athletic standpoint, I'm always trying to help those around me succeed in life. Like athletically, academically, and relationship wise. I try to guide them the best I can. A lot of people don't know, because a lot of the guys I would say that are better than me now, they have been in this for years. They've been doing this since 10, 11 years old, and I'm only 5 years in, so there's definitely so much room to go. Because I'm not, like, as far as a track and field standpoint, I'm not technical. I'm not the most technical or the most skilled. I just have natural ability. And that's what separates me. I think that's what's going to separate me from them years from now, as far as like in terms, once I become very skilled at what I'm doing and technical, I don't think I just, not to sound cocky, I just think it's going to separate me from them a lot, actually. When they give us gear, I always try to get extra gear so I can take it back and give it to my high school, the high school kids. I have a lot of spikes that I never even use because I just plan on giving them back in uniforms and shirts as well. That's always been a thing for me. I always was a person that was into philanthropy. But if I ever hopefully if I get wealthy enough, that's going to be one of my biggest plans, to be a philanthropist and give back to the community. And I'm going to coaching with a part-time in counseling psychology.
Okay.
So I want to coach full-time throughout the weekend, and on Saturdays and Sunday open my office to counseling psychology, help people with relationship problems, from social risk. Talking to a few agents or whatever this past week. So yeah, we're trying to work things out, going towards USA. And you might see me in some gear. You come USA's, you may not. It all depends. This Will Williams, name so nice you gotta say it twice, and you locked in with Grind Daily TV.